The worst not over, though, it seems, and things are far from getting back to normal. More soldiers being deployed in Mamelodi today. The 75,000 square meter Mams Mall was heavily looted last week. Police say the shopping complex was hit by organized gangs. Manqoba Mchunu is in Mamelodi tracking this story for us. Manqoba, what are you seeing?
Well, at this particular moment, I can tell you, Tapua, that we have seen two armored vehicles from the South African National Defence Force that made their way here just a short while ago. Of course, at this particular point, they're still driving around this particular mall. They will be deployed here, we understand, as from today. Of course, this area and this mall in particular is considered as one of the hotspots when it comes to the looting and violent and vandalism that we saw here in the province last week. Of course, this was one of the malls or one of the shopping centers here in Pretoria that was attacked by some of the people that had gone on a looting spree. In fact, we do know that several shops in here at this particular mall were looted, and some of them were even set alight. And you recall, of course, that there was also some exchange of fire between the armed security as well as police with some of the looters that had tried to gain entry into this mall. We do understand that that gun battle went well into the evening. And one of the complaints perhaps at the time from some of the tenants and from some of the community members was the fact that there was simply not enough police that were visible. They were outnumbered by some of the protesters that were here. So that was certainly one of the concerns and what led to the looting that took place here in this particular mall. But of course, we do know that many of the communities here in Pretoria have actually taken a stand against the looting of malls. In fact, when you go to other areas like, your other areas here in this particular part of Gauteng, you find some communities, like your Soshanguves, for example, that say that they were against the looting of this particular shop. So these soldiers, what we do understand, will be coming here to beef up security. And in terms of what we understand, it is what we understand to be a platoon that will be sent here. That makes or consists of about over 30 soldiers that will be deployed here, and they'll be both on foot as well as on mobile vehicles to actually beef up this particular mall. And in terms of what they are coming to do here, we also understand that they will be working alongside the South African Police Service, and that several operations may also be held by this particular joint effort by the soldiers as well as the SANDF. But of course, the question is why now? Because this all happened last week. And in fact, that's some of the questions that we've been hearing from some of the residents here who are saying that the soldiers are arriving here a little too late, given the fact that the looting has already taken place.
Manqoba, that why now question is one that I wanted to ask you next. Is it that the mall is still under threat, or is this just now a precautionary measure?
Well, I think more than anything, it is a precautionary measure, given the fact that the mall itself, Tapua, I can just ask my colleague Tamani to show you here. In fact, you can see that the mall at this particular stage has been closed. So there is no activity insofar as, shopping that is going on at this particular point. We do understand. But what we do know at this point is that there are employees that are coming inside this particular mall that have been there. And of course, the mop-up operations are still continuing at this particular point. So essentially what we understand is that these soldiers will be deployed here to ensure that the mall itself is not a target, and that they will also be carrying on several operations to perhaps, I'm not sure at this particular point if I'm accurate or not, to look at perhaps recouping some of the items that have also been looted. But as far as the mall is concerned, we do understand that the mop-up operations are well underway, and that, in fact, the police investigations also are well underway. We recall last week that when the Minister of Police, Begitele, did visit this particular mall, he did mention the fact that it appears as if there were gangs or planned a crime in terms of organized gangs that had come and looted and vandalized this mall, given the fact that they were carrying weapons and firing back at police. So I guess the whole setup now is to try and perhaps give more boots or get more boots on the ground to ensure that this mall again and other similar malls in this area that were targeted are not targeted again.
Manqoba, thank you so much. Manqoba Mqunu out in Mamelodi, Pretoria at Mum's Mall. A whole platoon has been deployed to try and protect the mall there. There was some serious gunfire, a gunfire that happened last week, and so the platoon ready to protect that mall.
Well, for the